Ghosts from the Nairobi cemetery scam have come back to haunt top former government officials 8 months down the line. Former local government Permanent Secretary Sammy Kirui and former Nairobi town clerk John Gakuo have been sentenced to 3 years imprisonment and slapped with a fine of 1 million shillings each. The two were found guilty of abuse of office in the 283 million shilling Mombasa cemetery land scandal. Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogot also handed their co-accused Mary Ng'ethe, the legal secretary to the defunct Nairobi City Council, and former Tender Committee Secretary Alexander Muse a 3-year jail term. Ng'ethe will be required to pay 52 million and Muse 32 million shillings in fines, failure to which they will serve an additional year in prison. Rita Tinina begins our broadcast tonight.
It is one of the few sentences handed down in a corruption case, albeit 8 years later, landing former local government Permanent Secretary Sammy Kirui and former Nairobi town clerk John Gakuo a 3-year jail term and a 1 million shilling fine.
Appeal.
In his verdict, Nairobi Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogot sentenced defunct Nairobi City Council Legal Secretary Mary Ng'ethe to 3 years imprisonment. She will be required to pay a 52 million shilling fine or serve an additional 1 year in prison. Former Tender Committee Secretary Alexander Muse too was handed a 3-year jail term and a fine of 32 million shillings, failure to which he will serve an additional year in prison.
The prosecution proved its case against all the accused persons beyond all reasonable doubt.
The case has been running since the year 2010, when the accused were first arraigned in court over the purchase of land worth 24 million shillings for an inflated price of 259 million shillings. The 120-acre piece of land in Mavoko was to be used as a cemetery, but was found unsuitable as a burial ground as it was rocky. Decorated no-nonsense former Nairobi town clerk John Gakuo, who is credited with cleaning up the city during his tenure as town clerk between the year 2004 and 2007, was the then Nairobi River Project coordinator. Gakuo, who is currently the co-chair of the Nairobi Regeneration Committee, and former local government PS Sammy Kirui, was suspended by the then President Mwai Kibaki over the scam and have been found guilty of abuse of office and failure to comply with procurement laws. Former Nairobi City Council Legal Secretary Mary Ng'ethe and former Tender Committee Secretary Alexander Muse were found guilty of complicity in knowingly giving false information about the land deal. Ng'ethe was sentenced to 3 years for another count.
In count 4, accused 3 to serve 3 years imprisonment to run concurrently with the sentence in count 3.
Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogot gave the 14 days to appeal against the verdict. Rita Tinina, KTN News.